So, what I want to talk about tonight is being tough and tender. And that's something that um, that I'm walking through tonight, or walking through in general, but I had a conversation about tonight. And it's really, um, at least for someone who comes from, opposite extremes, all or nothing thinking, constantly scanning for danger, or being just so gullible that you are the rattiest doormat. Um, just walking through recovery has brought me to a place that I never even could have imagined I could reach. Like the idea of this space is miraculous, honestly. Being able to hold not just two truths at one time, but even more than that, maybe 37 truths at one time. Like, that's insane, honestly. But with my particular situation, and this can be applied to anything, right? But having an experience with someone where you don't really know what's actually going on, it's kind of confusing and you don't really know what to do with it. And the Lord is using it to bring up your junk, right? Any unhealed wounds, any, hurts, habits, hang-ups, right? Any of your garbage, period. And so you're having to look at this situation because you're looking at the person and you're like, how could you? Why did you? What are you doing? This, that, third, right? And then also having to look at the situation from a place of, oh, wait a second. This is touching this wound. This is bringing this insecurity to the surface. And then now all of a sudden there's a frenzy. Emotions are high. You don't know how to respond. You don't know how to move or even just navigate the situation. And so you don't want to treat this person a certain way out of your emotions. At least that's what I would have done in the past. And then you have to figure out, okay, how do I treat this person well without trying to manipulate the situation to get a desired outcome? So you're carrying what you're perceiving from the person. You're carrying the reality of what God is revealing to you about yourself. And then you're carrying how you're going to respond to that with the information that you have, right? And so being able to recognize, okay, this situation is not healthy for me. And I'm angry or frustrated or whatever emotion about it. So or just unsure, and that makes me frazzled. But I also don't want to just discard you and treat you awfully, and be respectful. Or cordial, rather, right? But anyway, I say all these things to say, right, to be able to be in the space where you are actively aware of all of those different dynamics, recognizing, okay, I have to set a boundary in order to protect myself from this particular outcome based on the facts that I know about myself, right? Like, this is not good for me. So regardless of what I think I want or what I feel and how I want to move forward, being able to move forward in a way that's healthy and genuine and from a place of love, not from a place of defensiveness, right? Like, where you have to pretend like you're tough. Like put on a facade or perform or, something like that. But basically from a place of, I'm going to be tough in that I have to make a really hard decision that I don't want to make because my flesh is feeling something that I want to give into, but I'm not going to do that because I know where that road leads me. So I'm going to be tough in that I'm going to walk in the strength that the Lord has given me. He's given us a spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind, right? And it's one thing to hear that, but it's a whole nother thing to be experiencing it when you know what it feels like to walk in what feels like psychosis, where you don't know what to do because your mind's all over the place. You don't know what decision to make. You're insecure, you're overthinking, you're anxious, you're all over the place, right? So to know what that feels like, but then be able to be in a space where you're like, okay, I care about you as a human being. I care about how you feel. But I also know that if I prioritize that over my peace, over my mental health, that God has walked with me and sent his son to die for me to get to this place where I would be slapping him in the face if I give in to whatever this thing is, then I need to be able to be strong enough to say, God, this sucks, but I am going to surrender this to you. I'm going to leave this at your feet. And instead of doing what I want to do, I'm going to call my sponsor or my accountability partner or whomever is going to give me godly guidance and move in that direction. So whether that look like, being cordial or just letting something be what it is and not trying to manipulate an outcome, or treat somebody, with respect and whatever that looks like, right? Instead of from a place of emotion. And again, this can apply to anything, right? Recognizing a situation where you see something unfair happening or you notice that maybe who you're around or spending time with has views that are very different from yours and seem almost unloving or unkind. And it frustrating you or making you feel uneasy, but choosing to say, this doesn't feel right. I don't like how this looks or sounds. But I also don't want to be that, you know? So, like I said, just being tough but tender. So, recognizing the reality of the situation in front of you, the reality of what's going on inside of you, and choosing to move in a way that is healthy and safe for you and for the people around you, right? Not like lighting yourself on fire to keep somebody warm, but setting a boundary where you have to. Like, you know what? I really wish this could work, but it can't. So this is a decision I have to make, and not even necessarily explaining that to the person as much as you might want to, because at the end of the day, it's not your responsibility to make somebody understand something. Sometimes you do just have to let it go. And that is so much easier said than done, especially if you have been a people pleaser, especially if you have been an over explainer. Like, oh, I mean, you literally feel your flesh on fire. At least I do. And it pulls at you, and you have to fight it, with everything you have. And you're not fighting it alone. That's the thing, right? If you're trying to fight it alone, ooh, I'm praying for you, because it's probably not going to work. But I'm saying all these things to say, for the person who knows what I'm talking about, hey, we're on the same wavelength. That is so cool, right? Doesn't it feel amazing to be able to carry all these things at the same time? But for the one who's not there yet, it is possible. It is possible if you keep taking the steps, and if you've never done recovery, oh gosh, I encourage it. Celebrate Recovery is amazing. It's in churches all over the place. You can go to celebraterecovery.org, if I'm not mistaken, and type in your zip code and find all the ones. They've got them all the time. And you keep trying them until you find the one that works for you. Or if you can do multiple, do multiple. I'm very fortunate that, God provided a Tim Fletcher React recovery group in my area. I don't think that is as common, but we watch the videos and then we just discuss them. So that's still something, being able to get on there and watch his videos on YouTube. That's React with Tim Fletcher. The ones we watch are like 7 years old. I'm sure the new ones are really good too, but we watch them, and there's questions that go along with it and things like that. And man, complex trauma, I'm going to say this for anybody who comes from dysfunction. I'm going to tell you right now, all of the things that you think make you you, they are not you. All of the ways that you react to things, the ways that you pretend to be tough, or you don't set boundaries because you think that it's mean, or you feel like you're responsible for other people's feelings, or you don't walk in integrity because you feel like, why should you, when nobody did you right, or whatever that looks like for you. None of those things are you. Those are all trauma responses. And I say that because as I'm learning that, God is so kind, because the things that I'm having to learn about myself, He is showing them to me in the kindest and gentlest way, because he doesn't shame us. He just shows us, hey, this is what you did. This is why you did it. And let me show you something better that works, you know? And it is a lot of undoing. It's a lot of, digging up the grime and pruning and things like that. And it takes a long time, and it is really hard. But to be able to be the version of yourself that you were created to be, that, I never could have imagined that for myself, Obviously, I'm not, I haven't arrived, but at the same time, I'm arriving, and one day I'll probably give a lot more of my story. But my purpose in getting on here and just even saying any of this is that, I know what it feels like to feel like you have no choice in the way that you're moving. You're just reacting to what's going on in your nervous system and in your emotions and in your fight or flight, and if that's where you're at, that's okay. But there is something better, something more, something different. It just takes healing. It takes time. It takes doing the work. And it really is like a muscle, it's no pain, no gain all day long. But once you start to see the results, like if you're going to be addicted to something, being addicted to recovery is the thing. Let me tell you. Like, I had somebody ask me one time, what do you do for fun? And it's so sad because, there are lots of things I'd like to do for fun. But for the season that I was just coming out of, I was like, personal growth, because even though healing is hard, the rewards that you get from it make it fun. You get a freedom from things that you never could have imagined. Like, can you imagine? I don't know about y'all, but traffic on 45 in Houston, Texas will make a person crazy. Okay? If you don't know, look it up. But to be able to drive in that and be calm and let people pass you up, and not follow somebody somewhere and get out the car and give them a piece of your mind, that is a miracle. When I was in my 20s, just saying, to not shut down for days at a time because my nervous system is overloaded. My emotions are just highly activated, and I'm, hyperventilating and freaking out and getting physically sick type stuff because of whatever, to be dealing with those same types of circumstances now and being able to still show up for my life. That is amazing. That is amazing. Like, being able to just navigate life, and for somebody who's watching this who thinks you should just be able to do that, if you haven't walked it, I can't help you. And it's not my job to make you understand. But, to learn how to regulate and just be tough and tender at the same time, that is a miracle from God. Not reacting to what's going on in front of you that might be chaotic or overwhelming or frustrating. Being able to just look at the situation, look at where you're at, and choose a healthy response. Man, that's such a wonderful thing. Maybe this sounds silly, but I hope that it was helpful to someone. If it's helpful to one, that's all that matters. But trust the process, keep putting one foot in front of the other. And if you trust God, He will work all things out for your good. You just have to really be willing to surrender. And learning how to surrender, that's a journey in itself. If you're not there yet, it is okay. Ask Him to show you. Whatever it is that you hear about walking with the Lord, if you don't understand it, ask Him to give you revelation. He will. Think about what you're asking for, right? If you're asking for stuff, but you're not asking for the ability to steward that stuff, you're not going to get that stuff. You got to work on your foundation first, But anyway, like I said, I hope it helps. And remember, He left the 99 for the one. And you are the one. And thank you for listening.